situated here, and the kids were in my office this weekend, and table was moved, and tripods were everywhere, and I don't even know what they were doing. Didn't even know they were in here. So trying to get everything back, but I think we're at a good angle now. Well, I mean, the best angle you can give for me, so it is what it is. Welcome everybody to our weekly live Q&A every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go live and we try to answer your questions. I do have a couple of announcements, but before I do that, I do want to let you know how things work on here in case you are new. We have been seeing a lot of new people join our lives weekly, which is fantastic and exciting. It can get a little intimidating when you see a lot of people that are usually here and you don't really know what to do or say. You're more than welcomed here. We're glad that you were here. We do a couple fun things here on our lives. So number one, if you've hatched any eggs from me in the past week, feel free to let me know what those numbers are. We'll write that down for our records. We're currently sitting at a 74% hatch rate on chipped eggs for the year. So we're very proud and excited and happy about that. And last week, people were giving us hatch rates from the week prior, and they were doing really well, like really well, 90% well. So I'm very excited about that. Also, this is a live Q&A. So if you have any questions about Coturnix quail, raising them, brooding them, breeding them, selling them, I don't know, hatching them, whatever, feel free to ask your questions. No question is dumb. No question is not worth asking, because most likely if you're asking it, someone else is as well. And then we try to be kind to one another in the comments. So if you can, let's be kind in the comment section. If you do have any questions, just comment below in the chat. I will get to it. And then another fun thing that we do is if you want to let us know where you're from. So for example, like S.O. Swanson from blah, blah, blah. It's kind of cool to see where everybody's at in the quail world, which is always a lot of fun. I also do some announcements. I've only got 4 announcements, which is really better than what I usually got, but 2 of them are kind of big. So I'm going to try to go as fast as possible and talk as quickly as I can to get through the announcements, which I do think that you will be, it will be very beneficial for you to know about that, but I do want to get into your questions as well. And I will read all the comments, so no matter how long this takes me, I promise I will get to everything. So that's pretty much how all that works. Now, like I said at the very beginning, we try to support each other and we try to be kind to one another. Now, Chris Carnes is a YouTuber, raises quail and rabbits and does his own self-sufficiency thing in Missouri. And he's coming to QuailCon, which I'll talk about in just a second. However, he did not ask me to do this. I just so happened to see it before I went live, and I just thought this would be cool for all of us to support him. So, Chris Carnes' YouTube channel is called Slightly Rednecked, and he's a guest speaker at QuailCon. He's been here for 3 years running. We're really good friends. We've done collaboration videos together, all kinds of stuff like that. Now, again, he doesn't even know I'm doing this, but I noticed that he is at 98.8 thousand subscribers. So I would love to try to just motivate you to go subscribe to his channel after the live. Don't leave me. And subscribe to his channel, or you can do it and come back. It's not a big deal. I'd love to see him get to 100,000 in the next week or 2. His channel is extremely good. He does gardening videos. He does tips, tricks. He does quail videos. He does rabbit videos. He really is an amazing, amazing person. And I am proud to call him a friend. So again, he did not ask me to do this, so don't go on to his live on Thursday and be like, so you're having, nope, this was just my idea. I think it would be really cool to see him get to 100,000. I think he's more than deserving of it. And so I just wanted to throw that out. Number 2, puppies. My wife started a new business. It is the Myshire Great Danes. And she is breeding Great Danes now, and we are selling them. Our litter had 10, and I think she sold 3, and she's working on another 3. So there's just a few left. But if you're interested, you can check out the Facebook page, Myshire Farm Great Danes. You can also email her, which is just jenna@myshirefarm.com, with picture or asking her for pictures or information about what she has available and what's left. And then she also has them on the website called Good Dog. I probably should have verified that. I'm pretty sure it's called Good Dog. And she has them on there as well. But they are going pretty fast, which I am very relieved about. But if you're looking for a Great Dane, which is the best dog in the world, and you're wanting a Myshire Great Dane, we have a couple left. All right, so Quail University. Let's talk about that for just a minute. And I promise, just bear with me. I will get to your comments in just a second. I promise. But you're going to want to hear this. So Quail University is something that we started about 4 or 5 months ago. We collaborated with Time and Timber, Jasmine Bass. We also it was her idea. Linda Easton Waller's idea, which is from Hatching at Home and also now Quail University. She came to QuailCon last year, which we'll get to in a minute, and kind of brought this idea. And I said, well, I was thinking this, and then it just kind of meshed amazingly together. It was amazing. Like it was meant to be kind of thing. So we had Quail University is a course that you can take. It's got over 8 hours of content to watch. You can watch it at your leisure. Once you purchase the course, which is $49, it is yours forever. So you can go back and watch it. You can take your time. You can go through it over a weekend, whatever you want to do. But there's also like Quail Math Excel sheets. There's spreadsheets. There's tip sheets that you can print out and keep in a file in your quail barn or hutch or whatever. There's a lot of really cool stuff, and we're working on more content now, actually, which will be coming shortly, which is very exciting. And then once you complete the entire course, you're a Quail U graduate. And so we had some graduates this past week and two, and I wanted to just acknowledge them for just a second. So it's Adam B., Wyatt K., Freddie A., Alex F., Jacob H., Amy B., Roland C., Mary W., Jamie J., and Joelle H. I hope I said all your names correctly. But congratulations for completing Quail University. We're very proud of you. I think that's super, super cool. A couple of really, really interesting stats. I'm a stat guy. I like stats, right? A couple of really interesting stats is number one, this has been running for, I don't know, give or take 4 months, 5 months maybe. We've had hundreds and hundreds, if not at least 1,000 people so far take the course. We have 100% customer feedback. I don't like the word customer. 100% course feedback. I don't know. I'll come up with a different word. But 100% customer feedback, which is unheard of. It's 99. It's not 99.8. It's not 99.7. 100% customer feedback on anyone that's taken the course, completed the course, or partially completed the course, which is unheard of. So we're very, very proud of that. I think that is super, super cool. And then I also got an email from Linda today, and it says that we have a 48% graduate rate on Quail University, which I didn't know what to look at. And then in the same email, she said the average course, online course that you take, whether it's for goats or rabbits or chickens or quail or whatever, is 6% graduate rate. A 6% graduate rate. We are at a 48%, which is just fantastic. I'm very, very happy about that, especially because we've been taking some research and some studies. And so I asked for feedback as far as our hatch rates go for our customers. And it seems as though that there's about a 7 to 10% increase on hatch rates if you've completed Quail University because of all the extra knowledge that you get. So we've been kind of tracking that, and we're going to continue to track that before we give you actual real statistics about it. But I'm very excited about that. And so that means 48% are going to have, on average, about a 10% higher hatch rate than average. And better than what they've been doing. So I'm very, very excited about that. I thought that was all super cool. And then there's another thing that we're doing. Now, this is just a limited time. This is not a long-term deal. But anyone that's purchasing eggs from us, it's 500 people. We started it about 2 weeks ago. So as soon as we're out, we're not going to do it anymore. But we send a hatching guide in every box that we ship out, right? And it goes over just the stats that you need to be successful with Coturnix quail and hatching them. Well, Linda came up with the idea of doing a free hatching course instead of the hatching guide. So we're putting this in the box, and everyone is able to get a small condensed hatching course on Quail University, and then they can choose to purchase the rest or not. It's available for just a few weeks. But I thought that was very, very, very cool as well. So if you get eggs from us either last week, this week, or probably 2 more weeks, you're not going to see a hatching guide in the box like you normally would. You're going to see this. But I mean, you're going to get this, you're going to get more content than just a 1-page hatching guide, which is really, really cool. Now that won't be yours to keep. It's just a temporary thing, but you can go through it. So I thought that was cool as well. So Quail University has got a lot of stuff going on. Again, we've got some more content that we're working on now. And I talked about the puppies. I talked about Slightly Redneck. Let's get him to 100,000 subscribers. That is really cool. We just need 1.2 thousand members to join and subscribe to his channel. I think that's awesome. So I wish him all the best. I'm already subscribed, or I would do it again and again and again, but it only works once, I guess, for me, so it is what it is. And then I want to talk about QuailCon for just a minute. I really appreciate all of you guys hanging in there with me. I promise I'm going to get to all your comments, questions, and queries in just a minute, but QuailCon 2023 is coming up in just a few weeks. It is September 2nd and 3rd here at Myshire Farm. It is a 2-day event, and it's going to be amazing. This is our 3rd annual QuailCon, and we are finalizing everything. I've got a meeting Tuesday with all the speakers, volunteers, vendors, everybody. We're going to go through the whole package as far as what's going on with what, who's in charge of what, and we're finalizing that. But we've got a lot of really cool stuff going on. So I just wanted to share with you a few things. Now, we do still have some tickets available on our website, which is myshirefarm.com. There's a tab that says QuailCon 2023. That will also break down a lot of the information under the tickets, like the description. It'll show you everything that's going on as well. We'd love for you to make it. We've got 26 states coming and 3 different countries. We've literally got all of North America coming. We've got Mexico, the US, and Canada coming, which is really cool. And then in the US, we've got 26 or 27 states already coming. So a lot of the US is getting represented state by state, which is really awesome. But I wanted to go over some of the schedules for you. And I'm going to give a little bit out each week, but I'm really getting really excited about this. I really do think that this year we're going to blow it out of the water and exceed everybody's expectations. The past couple of years, I haven't really pushed it a lot because I didn't want everybody's expectations to be up here. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm ready this year, so get high expectations, and we're still going to blow you away. So listen to this. Doors open on the 2nd, which is Saturday, September, and the gates will open at 11 a.m. You guys will be able to walk around, get familiar with it. We're going to give you a handout that has a map, shows you where everything's at, a schedule, all that jazz. And then at 11:40, I'm going to do announcements in the main tent, right? We have a lot of tents. And then it'll be in the main tent, which you won't be able to miss, I promise. And then after the announcements, we have got a full jam-packed day for you. So we're going to have barn tours provided by myself on the hour every hour. So 12 through 6, we're doing barn tours. So if you missed the first one, you can come back to the second one, whatever the case may be. We're going to have 3 butcher experiences, butcher workshops in our butcher barn. And then Jasmine Bass is going to be heading that up with Aaron Gutros, as well as, I should have written that down. I don't remember who else they've got. Nikki and Brad James and Sue Berryhill. That's right. I should have known that. And then we've got Dale's Quails that's going to be here. And he's going to be doing 3 different workshops on building your own cage or brooder, or buying something very cheap on Craigslist like a rabbit hutch. and converting that into a quail cage, so kind of cheap cages or inexpensive cages. But that's going to be really, really cool as well. Then we've got Keith, which is someone that we've known 13 years. He's been in the quail business for 30 plus. He's very knowledgeable. He does chickens and rabbits and quail and pigeons. In fact, he has sold pigeons to Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson's flown here and gotten pigeons from him. He's had a lot of his pigeons in like a lot of commercials. Like, he's really big in that area, which is really cool. And then Melanie and Ricky Ward is going to do a farm safety class 2 different times, which is going to be really, really cool to give you just like basic safety information. They do this for a living, so it's going to be very, very interesting and rewarding. We also have Verna Young, which is a moderator on here, is going to do a Quail 101 master class 2 different times. We've got Katrina from Sow and Tear. She's going to talk about aviaries and how to house them in aviaries and the differences 2 different times. So if you missed one, you can go to the other. And then we've got Linda Easton Waller from Hatching at Home and Quail University. And she's going to be talking about marketing. Now, at 6 o'clock, we're going to stop everything and we're going to have a huge dinner if you sign up for it. We're going to have quail raised here at Myshire Farm. We're going to have a pig roast raised here at Myshire Farm. And then we're going to have a couple sides and drinks not from Myshire Farm. It was just too many people. We couldn't do that. But the majority of the food is going to be raised here at Myshire Farm. And then we also have Ed Got Bait, which is on here, also my moderator. He's going to have a craft table, but also a little side table showing you how to make crafts. So for example, he donated this to the raffles. He sent it to me early, and this is what he made. So it's a necklace, and it's a gold-plated wishbone from a quail, which is really cool. And then it also goes with quail egg earrings, which is also really cool. So he'll be able to show you guys how to do that, make a little bit of extra side money from your quail on stuff that you're not using, and be more profitable that way, which is really cool. And then Brooke is supposed to be here as well from Cali Quail Keepers, and she will also be doing a craft section for the kids as well. And we're also going to have bouncy houses for the kids. We're going to have an obstacle course for the bigger kids, and then we're also going to be having a bouncy house for the smaller kids so that no one gets hurt. So that's just Saturday. Like, that's just Saturday. We've got a 2-day event. So stay tuned, come back next week, and we'll go over Sunday's schedule, which is really, really exciting. So if you have any questions about Quail University or QuailCon, feel free to comment below. I promise I will get to them as quickly as possible. I am done with the announcements. We will get into the comments now, but we've got a lot of stuff going on. I did want to mention one more thing. Kelly Connect, if you are coming to QuailCon, Kelly Connect from Feathered Connections Homestead has a website, and she made these t-shirts. And so this one says, Birds of a Feather Covey Together at QuailCon 2023. I purchased 3 of those. I'll be wearing one. Jenna will be wearing a different one. And this one, I'm going to have all the speakers and volunteers sign the back of this, and we're going to raffle this thing off, which will be kind of cool. So if you are coming to QuailCon or want to support QuailCon, feel free to join her website, go to her website and purchase one of her shirts. She's got a lot of different choices to choose from, and I thought they were very, very cool. But that just came in, and that's just another thing that we'll be raffling off, so that'll be really cool as well. I'm going to take a drink because I feel like I've talked a lot really fast, and then we will get into the comments, everybody. Now, remember, if you have any questions about raising quail, breeding quail, anything to do with Coturnix quail, ask below. I will get to it. If you have any questions about Quail University or QuailCon, feel free to ask. Quail University and QuailCon are both on our website, myshirefarm.com. So make sure you check those out. And if you can support the channel by just hitting the like button, I would greatly appreciate it. And helps the channel grow and makes me feel good. So here we go. Linda's in the house from California. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Tiny Quail Farm is in the house from Florida. What breed can I get from mixing standards with English whites? Anytime you breed any color with white, you're going to get that color, pure whites, and tuxedos is what you're going to get every time. So if you like tuxedos, you breed whites with anything you want, and you're going to get tuxedos. If you don't want tuxedos, you never want to breed whites with anything. John F. is in the house. Welcome, everybody. PJ's Family Farm is in the house. Says, hello, all beautiful quail people. PJ's Family Farm has been generous enough to volunteer their time at QuailCon to run the Wynola Ranch table. So Wynola Ranch is going to be selling cages and troughs and different types of cages and all kinds of really cool stuff like that. You'll be able to get great deals on that here. Dr. Connie's in the house from Florida. Welcome. Glad you're here. Again, Vay's Place and Ed Got Bait are my moderators. They help behind the scenes as well as keeping everything in order on the comments as well. And both of them will be active at QuailCon, and I'm very excited about that, so thank you for all you do. Tracy's in the house, says, hello, everyone. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Foster Farms is in the house, says, hi, everybody. Listening while driving down the road in the truck. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Mason Devi is in the house. Welcome. Mason says, did anyone else get some eggs from the auction? We did do auctions today on our auction page on Facebook, Myshire Quail Egg Auctions. We went from like 10 a.m. to maybe 4 p.m. We did quite a bit of auctions, a lot of really great deals today. So congratulations, everybody that got a great deal on some hatching eggs. And I wish you all the best on those, and obviously keep me posted. Joy is in the house, says hello all from hot Western Oregon. Welcome, we're glad you're here. S.O. Swanson's in the house. I'm taking inventory. Welcome, glad you're here. Greetings from the Mississippi Delta. Glad you're here. S.O. Swanson says, only 20 days until QuailCon equals no rush. Oh, I'm rushing. There's a lot of stuff to do in the next couple of weeks. That's for sure. Let's see. Erica Willis is in the house from Arkansas. Welcome. We're glad you're here. It was over 100 earlier at a quick thunderstorm, and now it's only 93. We got a cool front. There you go. It's pretty comfortable today. It's probably 86, 85. Not too bad. Buster's in the house from Oklahoma. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Shelly Barr's in the house from South Carolina. Got a great deal on an auction as well. Brian Ayers is in the house from Southern Maryland. Yep, that has to be it. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Let's see. Vay's Place says 23 watching, only 16 likes. Hit the thumbs up, everyone. Well, we're up to 47 likes out of 86, so that's great. Thank you very much for all your support. Jesse Mills is in the house. Says good evening, everyone. Welcome. Goutro's Family Farm is in the house. Welcome. Feather Connections Homestead's in the house. Says, hey, from Provo, Utah. Can't wait for QuailCon. What's the countdown now? 20-ish days. Absolutely. Linda Easton Waller's in the house from Sacramento, California. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Andrea Perry's in the house from North Carolina. Welcome. I still don't have North Carolina coming to QuailCon, so I'm just saying. Bags of Love is in the house from North Carolina. There you go. See, you guys could carpool. Jesse Mills is in the house. Got my shirts in yesterday. There you go, from QuailCon, like I showed you. Ryan's in the house from Ottawa, Canada. Welcome. We do have someone coming. Steve, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're from Ottawa, Canada, which is pretty cool. Nikki James is in the house from Missouri. Will be here at QuailCon. Jesse Mills will be a vendor at QuailCon. Pris K is in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Nabiki's in the house from Oregon. Welcome. I know you're busy. You just moved. I'm just saying I don't think we have Oregon. I'm just saying. PJ's Family Farm's in the house from New York, obviously coming to QuailCon. Fat Country is in the house from Florida. We do have quite a bit of people from Florida coming, which is exciting. Wildman Williams is in the house from Illinois. Welcome. Let's see. Aaron Goutros in the house from South Louisiana, is helping out with the Butcher Workshop. Greg Luther is in the house from Florida. Ryan says, is there a way to add dust baths to commercial cages? There has to be. I tried it. It did not go well. It was awful, and I stopped. If you've got smaller cages, I think it's a whole lot easier. I mean, we did it back in the day with smaller cages, a whole lot easier. But when you've got colony cages and you're commercially breeding, no, it worked out really, really bad, really bad. But you might find a way. Maybe I just did it wrong. Ed Got Baits in the house from Virginia Beach, Virginia. I've been to his house a couple different times. He's coming to QuailCon, helping out, and helping you guys out with your crafts. AKA, this is what he made, showing you how to make and raffling it off and selling some stuff as well. How cute is that? Shelly Barr's in the house says, I'm new to quail. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Amy's in the house, says, hello from Washington State. Super excited to get my eggs. I would have bought more, but my Brincy is full, so we'll have to use my Nurturite 360. There you go. Well, we're going to continue to try to do auctions throughout the year. I'm going to really try to stay consistent with that. I haven't been great at that, so we're going to keep trying. Mark Minnick is in the house from Arizona. I think we actually have Arizona coming, but we'd love to have you. Fat Country says, what are bantam quail? Really tiny quail. I don't understand why people would want, I mean, I guess there's a purpose for everything, and there's many different reasons to raise quail. I don't understand the bantam quail, though. Like, quail are already kind of on the smaller side, you know what I mean? Compared to a chicken or anything else for meat and eggs. So if you're going for bantam, like, why wouldn't you just get button quail? Button quail are pretty much bantam quail. They're like miniature Coturnics, you know what I mean? But whatever. Alicia Flippin's in the house from Paris, Texas. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Foster Farms in Tennessee coming to QuailCon. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Urban Homestead Montes. I hope I said that correctly. UHM from Puerto Rico. Welcome. We're glad you're here. We don't have Puerto Rico coming. So, I mean, I'm just saying, if you want to come to QuailCon, we'd love to have you. Let's see. Paul Montgomery's in the house. Looks like you use clear heat lamps in your brooders. Wondering why not red? Or yours something special? Thanks from Michigan. Have a great night. That's a great question. So we do use the ultraviolet red, or whatever it's called, the first week, because they're usually like a 250 watt, I think is what it is. And then after the first week, we take the paper towels up and we put the 125 watt bulb in there. They just don't need that much heat, so there's no reason to use the energy and use extra heat when they're not gonna appreciate it. So the 250 watt bulb, the red one, we only use for a week, and then we switch over to the 125. Great question. Cheeto is in the house. Cheeto Anaban. Hope I said that correctly. Vay's Place did put in the comments the link to Slightly Redneck's YouTube channel. If you missed the very beginning, Slightly Redneck is a great friend of mine and Myshire Farm. He'll be at QuailCon. He is a guest speaker here. He's been here every year. He's fantastic. He is literally one of the best men I've ever met. I mean, he is truly ethical and kind and generous, and I really appreciate him. And I looked, I don't know how I saw it, but he has got 98.8 thousand subscribers on his YouTube channel. So let's support each other in the quail community. Let's try to get him to 100,000 subscribers. So after this, whenever you're done with this, whatever, make sure you go over to the Slightly Redneck YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, and let's see him get to 100,000. He did not ask me to do this. I just thought it would be nice to let you guys know that he's almost there. Deborah Walker's in the house from Texas. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Wayne and Deborah Walker from Harlingen, Texas. I probably said that incorrectly. I'm sorry. Joy says, I've already subscribed to his channel. Love his channel. Absolutely. He's got great content. S.O. Swanson says, Chris at Slightly Redneck is always willing to share his advice and suggestions and a great resource for quail and rabbits. Absolutely. He also does a live Q&A on Thursdays as well. So you can always do that as well. Linda Easton Waller says, done. Subscribe to Slightly Redneck. There you go. Thank you. JT says, what's the instructions to enter the 18 under monthly drawings? You'll just email me. If you don't know what the 18 under contest is, quickly, I'll just explain it. It is a contest that we do for 18 and under contestants. Anyone that's a minor can enter. They'll just email me at Zach, Z-A-C-K, at myshirefarm.com. My email is on our website, myshirefarm.com. And you'll email me just, who you are, your name, your age, why you want to raise quail, and we pick a winner each month. That winner will get eggs from me, scissors from Ed Got Bait, a candler from me, a brooder from Dale's Quails, a cage from Wynola Ranch, and an incubator from Quail University. It is everything to get them started with Coturnix quail and be successful. Also, Quail University donates a free course, Quail University course, to the 1800 contest winner. And that is to help encourage, educate, and promote and motivate the next generation getting involved with their food, involved with self-sufficiency, learn entrepreneur skills, learn responsibility, get off the gaming stuff, and start working with their hands in a different way. That's something that we've done for a very long time, and yeah, that's how you would enter. Weak Ankles Kayaker 81 is in the house from California. Welcome, we're glad you're here. Feather Connections is in the house. Says, I love Chris Carnes too, such a great guy and so great to hang with him at QuailCon, plus super knowledgeable. Absolutely, he's been doing it for a long time as well. Linda Easton Waller says, Chris is a great guy, looking forward to seeing him at QuailCon. Absolutely. Erica Willis says, love his videos. The video with Zach is how I learned about Myshire Farm. There you go. The Grazing Farmstead says, hi everyone, greetings from Southwest Missouri. There you go. Thank you for the rain. There you go. Yeah, it's not supposed to rain here for 2 weeks. I mean, I could use a little bit, but if it doesn't rain until after QuailCon, I'm not going to complain either. Like, I just don't want it to rain at QuailCon, but we're preparing in case it does. Kevin Short's in the house from North Carolina. I don't have North Carolina coming to QuailCon. One of you guys have got to make it. Zach, at what age do you let your hens get before you put them in with your males? That's a great question. So my rule of thumb, what I do is it is a week after they start laying eggs. So if they start laying eggs at 6 weeks old, I put them in at 7. If they don't start laying eggs until 7 weeks old, I don't put them in until 8, or whatever the case may be. Them starting to lay is partly genetics. It's also a lot of environment. How many hours of light are they getting? How many quail per square foot? How many, this, that, and the other. So that varies. I know I actually got 3 questions this week about it, which is abnormal. I get asked this a lot, just not 3 times in a week. Someone purchased eggs from somewhere else, and they're having some issues, and I said, well, the first thing you did wrong is not order from me. I was just joking. I told them I was just joking. And I said, well, what's the problem? And they said, well, I think they were like 11 weeks old, and they weren't laying eggs, and I think it was like 9, 10, 11 weeks. It was something weird like that. The 3 different customers had different weeks, but it was like back to back to back. And none of them were laying eggs yet. And it was 3 different issues. One was the square feet. They had them jam-packed in there. And if they're not happy, they're not going to lay for you. Number 2, they had way too many males. They had like a 3-to-1 ratio, and the hens were getting beat up, stressed out, wouldn't lay eggs. The third one didn't have any artificial light on them, which is going to take longer for them to start laying. So again, all 3 of those were environmental. Obviously, some of it can be genetic as well. If ours start, because our environment doesn't change, we keep it consistent. If they don't start laying by week 7.5, they're not used for a breeding program, period. But I mean, almost every single one of them starts laying like 6 weeks old, or 6 weeks and 1 day old, or something like that. I lost my spot. Vase Play says, hit the thumbs up. Let's get Zach 100 likes at least. If you could support the channel by doing so, I'd greatly appreciate it. Lyle Chapman's in the house. How many males to female ratio should I have? Great question. It's 5 hens to every 1 male. Now, the reason I say that is because way back in the day, we did a lot of research on that. So like we put 1-to-1 like you would Bob Whites. We put, I think it was 10-to-1, 7-to-1. No, I think we did 10-to-1. I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyways, we eliminated things like obviously the 1 male to the 1 hen. The hen got destroyed immediately, so that doesn't work. Same thing with the 2-to-1, 3-to-1. The hen didn't look as bad, but it still looked bad, so that didn't work. And then obviously, like, I forget what it was. I think it was 10-to-1 is what we did. There was no fertility, same as 9, same as 8, same as 7. So the 4, 5, and 6 seemed to work best, right? With a high fertility and the hens looking good. The fertility was a little bit lower on the 6-1. And then the 4-1, the hens did get beat up a little bit. So the 5-1 is like that perfect little medium where the hens still look good and they're laying and the fertility's high. So that's why we say a 5-1. It's a great question. Student feedback. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Alumni for Quail University. There you go. I thought alumni was mainly graduates though. Like the user feedback, the student feedback is everybody, whether they've graduated or not yet. I do like student feedback. I like that. Keyword client. There you go. Yeah, it's a community. You know what I mean? Like we're all in there together. So I don't like saying my customers. You know what I mean? They're not my customers. We're all in this together. They just happen to purchase some eggs from me, but we're in this together. Mason says, hi, Zach. I'm excited for my eggs I won today. Absolutely. Good luck. And I will get you shipped out as soon as we can. A. Jones is in the house. Says, hey, all. Checking in from the northeast tip of Ohio. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Louis Ramirez says, 100% customer engagement. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Nope. Diana Tuttle from Tut Farms is in the house. Says, hello, all. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Yusuf Freezer is in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. You'll be at QuailCon all 3 years, so we're excited to have you back. Glad you're back into quail as well. Tony in the house from Toronto. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Chiefs #1 fan is in the house. How many people were in the 1800 giveaway? That's a great question. I probably get... it varies throughout the year. I would say the lowest month was probably 12 entries. The highest was a lot, probably 70 in a month. We probably average about 20 to 25 a month, I would say, somewhere in there. But I actually haven't counted in a long time, so I'm pulling those numbers out of my butt when my wife tells me I should never do that. So I'm guessing. Ryan says, is it okay to have chicken, turkey, and quail on the same farm? What kind of biosecurity is needed to protect the different flocks? It's a great question. And yes, on the same farm, not in the same pen. If that's the case for self-sufficiency, I really suggest you have your quail in cages off the ground. So all animals, all turkeys, all chickens, all quail, they're going to carry some sort of disease, right? But they're immune to that because they've been bred for it for so long. You know what I mean? Now, with that, the turkey is a lot bigger than the chicken. So the turkey's immunity can be a lot higher than the chicken immunity. Whereas the chicken immunity is a lot higher than the quail. So if they intertangle, or if you're, feeding and watering the chickens and then you go into the quail barn and touch them and feed and water them, it can be cross-contamination. So I would probably just keep them separated, maybe have a little sanitation area, like right when you go into the barn, where either you're washing your hands or you're, sanitizing your hands, or you're putting on gloves, just so there's nothing like that. As long as they're really not that close together, it's really not a big deal. And if the quail are off the ground, you don't have to worry about your feet or your shoes or tracking stuff in, because they're never going to be down there. Stuff like that is stuff you want to think about. It's a great question. But yeah, you can have all three. You just, you got to make sure it's organized and clean. Great question. Racer Tim 7. Oh, I gotta take a drink. Can't do it. Try. Ooh. Okay. Racer Tim 7 says my hatch from you this week is 51 out of the 60 GPC. 51 out of. Wow, that was fantastic. 89 out of 189. You ordered 110 rare. 23 out of the 25 wild. Jeez, you're killing it. 28 out of the, oh my God. Egyptian. 52 out of the 50 scar. You did auctions. I'm sorry. Okay, so that is 60, 120. Let's see, jumbos. It's 30. I'm so sorry, everybody. Hold on just a second. 28 out of 30. 52 out of 60 Scarlet. 96 out of 120. My God. 8 out of 15 Autumn Amber. Dear Lord. Racer Tim 7, you did fantastic. Listen to these hatch rates that he got. 51 out of 60 German pastels, 89 out of 120 rare mix, 23 out of 30 jumbos, 28 out of 30 jumbo Egyptians, 52 out of 60 scarlets, 96 out of 120 feather sexable, and 8 out of 15 autumn ambers. That is fantastic. You did awesome. That's going to help our numbers. Congratulations. That's great. Congratulations. That's really cool. Thank you for letting me know. Ed Gabay says, I only have 4 more sections of Quail U before I'm done. There you go. Feather Connection says, oh my God, I'm so excited for QuailCon. It really is going to be awesome this year. I can't wait. Yusa says, hey guys, I'm on my chicken coop working on reinforcement. There you go. Good luck. A. Jones says, I purchased those quail cookbooks from Myshire and just love them. I really recommend buying them. There you go. Yeah. Vay's Place, Verna Young, put together, I think there's 3 now, 3 different cookbooks for quail and quail meat and quail eggs, things like that, that you can get on our website. It's a digital, so you just order it. I think it's pretty inexpensive. I think it's like 15, 20 bucks. Some of those proceeds go to QuailCon, and then you've got it forever, and then you've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of recipes, which is really cool, for quail eggs and quail meat and all that stuff. So yeah, check that out on our website at myshirefarm.com. Backyard Meats in the house. Good evening, everyone from Texas Gulf Coast. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Yusuf says, will day-old quail be available at QuailCon? Yes, they will be. Well, they'll be week-olds. I didn't want anybody taking day-olds, so we actually put some in Friday. They'll hatch out the Monday of QuailCon. So when you take them home on Sunday, they're 6 days old, which will help them travel and things like that. But yes, we'll also have 3-week-olds, we'll have males, we'll have hens, we'll have straight runs, we'll have rares, we'll have jumbos, we'll have hatching eggs, supplies, you name it. Anything you need with quail, it's going to be here. Quail University, cages, brooders, supplies, jewelry, general stuff. I mean, everything. Everything is going to be here. So all in one. Not all from me, but we have vendors. Feather, nope, not talking to me. Wyatt Higgs is in the house. Hey guys, won my BTA eggs on the auction group. Absolutely, congratulations on the great deal. And Wyatt Higgs won the 18 and under contest last month. He just got his incubator in, and I'll be shipping him some eggs this week. So congratulations on the 18 and under contest win this month. And Freezer, Yusuf Freezer won probably about a year and a half ago, maybe. So we have 2 18 and under contest winners on here. Under 18 and just going at it. So congratulations to both of you. I'm proud of you. Feather Connection says, is he talking about our Steve like S.O. Swanson? He told me Mike Tyson. He sold to Mike Tyson. He did sell to Mike Tyson. It was pretty cool. He's got stories, man. He's got some really cool stories. But yeah, back, I don't think I don't know, but back in the day, Mike Tyson had like a lot of pigeons like that, you know, pigeons and tigers, man, like that was his thing. And yeah, he sold Mike, I don't know Mike Tyson, so I shouldn't say Mike. He sold Mike Tyson a lot of pigeons back in the day. John F's in the house. Shelly Barr's in the house. Feather Connection says, and then there's Kelly with the microphone. There you go. Yeah, Katrina from Sew and Tear, as well as Kelly from Feather Connections Homestead is going to be emceeing both days. So they'll kind of be directing like, hey, this class is over. The next class is going to be here, here, and here. So there's going to be a lot more communication this year, which is going to be a lot of fun and better organized. Yusa says positive vibes, it won't rain. There you go. We'll make the best of it either way. We're more prepared this year if it does rain, but we made the best of it last year too. S.O. Swanson says, I did not authorize rain this year at QuailCon. If it does, then someone has to answer to me. There you go. Jesse Mill says, I'm going to be 75 and sunny for, it's going to be 75 and sunny for QuailCon. There you go. It's probably going to be mid 80s, but I mean, I don't even care. I don't even care. Whatever. It doesn't rain. Backyard meats in the house. When doing balutes, do you need to place them in a turner? That's a great question. It's a best practice. I guess you wouldn't have to do it every time. They develop better when they're turning, you know, because if they're just leaning on one side the whole time, they kind of develop on that side. If you're hatching them out, they could be deformed, whatever. But they're gonna be a little bit healthier, a little bit bigger when you're turning them. So it's a good practice to do so. If by chance, you know, your turners break and you have to put the balut in, it's not the end of the world, but I would say for most of the time, majority of the time, I would make sure they're turning. That's a great question. A lot of great questions tonight, everybody. Bill Thompson's in the house from PA, Pennsylvania, Altoona, Jonestown area. Welcome, we're glad you're here. We're actually going to Pennsylvania next Friday night. As soon as I get off work, well, I'm never off work. As soon as I can leave, me and Jenna are going to be taking, I think, 3 puppies to Pennsylvania, meeting people in, I don't remember. Midway in Pennsylvania. One lives in Pennsylvania, one's in New Jersey, one's in New York. And we're all meeting together to drop off the puppies. I did not feel comfortable flying them, and it's like 4 hours, so 8-hour drive. We'll get home around 2 a.m. But I got to be back here Saturday because I got QuailCon. I got to get stuff done. Dylan Franklin's in the house. What's up, everyone? And yes, I got 30 golds. Absolutely. Got a great deal on your auction today as well. A lot of auction people here tonight. Thank you very much for showing up. You've said we're going to have guests overeat our delicious sweet corn. There you go. Shelly Barr says, I'm new to raising quail and I have set up my incubator. It's running at 99.2 and 52%. What am I doing wrong? Well, if you lower your humidity, most likely that temp will increase a little bit. Don't add any water, and I would do a dry hatch. I would assume you're in an area that's kind of higher humidity. A dry hatch just means you add no water. Don't worry about the humidity at all until lockdown. At lockdown, increase that puppy to 75%. As far as the temp goes, get it to 99.2, let it dry hatch, and wrap your incubator with a towel or a blanket. It'll help insulate that, and it'll probably take it up to about 99.5 to 99.8, and that's exactly where you want to be. Very good question. Solo FX is in the house. Your thoughts on dry hatching and not turning the eggs? There you go. Dry hatching, I think, is environmental. It depends on where you're at. This time of year, I think most people need to be dry hatching. Not turning the eggs, I think, is a bad idea. You're just going to get healthier chicks if you turn long term. Now, if you do 1 or 2 test hatches, they might turn out fine. But if you do 15 or 20 test hatches, you're going to see a difference. Believe me. So I would highly recommend you turn the eggs. I don't think, when you test things out, I don't think testing it, 3 times is a good number. You know what I mean? I think it needs to be a long-term, like if you think of any lab or anything like that, they do hundreds of tests to make sure it's right. The same thing with eggs. You do a test batch of 12 eggs. Well, that ain't gonna do, you need to have, our test batches are like 200 to 300 eggs, multiple times. You know what I mean? So like we're testing right now on the hatch rates. for people that take Quail University and don't take Quail University. Right now, Quail University is a higher hatch rate, which is really cool. But I'm not willing to give you those final numbers because we don't have enough of that information yet. We haven't been doing it long enough. We don't have enough people. I probably have maybe 40, 45, I haven't actually counted, somewhere in that range of people telling me. I don't feel like that's enough. I wouldn't be comfortable giving those numbers out until at least 100 minimum. Long story short with that is I would recommend turning the eggs. You're going to get healthier chicks in the long run, and in my opinion, you're going to get a better hatch rate. The dry hatching, I think, is, now, can you dry hatch in winter? Probably not. You'll probably get a lower hatch rate. So it all depends on the weather outside and where you're located. So like right now, it's hot and humid here. We're dry hatching. Once we hit about end of October, beginning of November, we don't dry hatch anymore. We add water. Great question. Very good question. And I talked to so long that I lost my spot. I'm so sorry. Chiefs #1 fan says, how many people entered in the 1800? Oh, I answered. Oh, and for September, it was for September, which has not happened yet. 12, 10, 12, somewhere around there. But anyone that's entered before is still entered in the contest. We just carry that over. Papa's Homestead's in the house says, well, better late than never. Hello, all from West Virginia. Welcome. We're glad you're here. I don't think we have West Virginia coming to QuailCon yet, so we'd love to have you. It's just a couple of weeks. Edgar Bates says, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Absolutely. Support the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Greg Luther's in the house. What would you recommend for an inexperienced newcomer for an incubator that will also do chickens and ducks? That's a great question. I do have a couple of incubator reviews on our YouTube channel. If you go to the playlist, Quail Product Reviews, I believe is what it's called. We did a review on the Little Giant and the Farm Innovator, the Nurturite 360, and the Brencia. And Brencias are a little bit more expensive, but they are the best that we've tested. I mean, by far. So if you're willing to spend a little bit of money on the investment, Brencia is the way you'd want to go. And if you choose that, you can go to their website at brencia.com, use the coupon code Myshire, and it'll give you 10% off your purchase, which is kind of cool that they did that. I don't get anything from that. It was just, I asked if they do it for our customers. And they said, sure. I said, cool, thanks. And I used that to get the incubator I did the review on. So they're really good. I feel like the Nurturite 360 is a little bit too small to be able to do chickens and ducks. I know you can, but that scares me. Wasn't really happy with the Farm Innovator. I would say the Little Giant. It would be the inexpensive route that could probably do a good job for you. You spend a little bit more on the Brencia, you're going to do great. The Little Giant, you'll probably have to work with, but I think you can get it done. I would recommend just watching those videos and just seeing what would fit your situation better. But we try to give you as much information. We buy all those incubators. They're not given or donated to us. So we do honest reviews on them. We tell everybody, this is what we think, blah, blah, blah. And hopefully you can see our results and decide what works best for you. Great question again. Carrie Ricker's in the house from New York. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Deborah Walker's in the house from Texas. What are your thoughts about feeding fermented feed? It's not a bad idea. I mean, it's not a bad idea. You'll save some feed because they won't eat as much. It's not a bad idea. If you want to do it, I think you should. My personal opinion, I don't have time for it. I mean, I have a lot of quail, but even if I had just, even if we just had enough for us to be self-sufficient, I still wouldn't do it just because it's a time thing. But if you've got the time and you're willing to do it, I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I think it's a great idea. It's just not something that I would be interested in doing. Something that we cannot do here at Myshire Farm. It would take, and we'd have to have a whole nother person just do that constantly. We go through about 7 pallets a month of feed. So fermenting that would be like a full-time job for real. So we just can't do it here. I don't think it's a horrible idea. I think it's a great idea. I think it's beneficial for the quail. It's just, is it worth the time and the energy? That's all. That's a great question. And there's not a right or wrong answer. I told you, really what it was, then I told you my personal opinion, but you don't have to listen to my personal opinion at all. Amy B's in the house. Hello, everyone. Countdown to QuailCon. Absolutely. Can't wait to see you. Dylan Franklin's in the house. Greg, I used the Nurtrite 360. There you go. Kurt Browning's in the house from Evansville, Indiana area. Started with 11 Jumbo Browns. And we have had our very first quail meal tonight. That is awesome. Congratulations. Very cool. Congratulations. That's very cool. Hopefully you liked it. John F. says, Greg, I have the Brinty. I bought it to last. There you go. Yeah, and it just depends on where you're at and what you're willing to do. S.O. Swanson says, yes, 2 from Ottawa from what I hear. Ryan D. and Carrie K. Very cool. I think we only have 1. Maybe one's not buying tickets yet, but I know at least 1. Amy B's in the house. Is there a male-female prevalence for failure to thrive? Not that I have noticed, no. Not that I have noticed. That's a great question, but no. Caitlin's in the house from Pennsylvania. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Pappy's Homestead's in the house from Bantam Quail are known as buttons around here. Yep, absolutely. S.O. Swanson says, nope, no Arizona yet. Mary Minnick, come join us. There you go. We'd love for you to come to QuailCon. Caitlin says, how do you get started selling your hatching eggs so successfully? Slow and steady wins the race. I've got a playlist called Quail for Profit. I would highly recommend watching those. Start locally, start slow, build your customer base as you're building your quail production. That's one of the biggest mistakes I see is people, want to buy 5,000 eggs and hatch them all out and then go, okay, who's my customers? And it's like, nope, you got to build your customers when you're building your quail. That's how that works. Otherwise, you're going to get bombarded with eggs. And then you're going to start selling on price and not quality and value, and then you're never going to get out of it. So slow and steady wins the race. Start a local adventure first. Sell eating eggs, farmers markets, balutes. I've got a video on that. That's huge. That's a huge portion of our local sales. Farmers markets, farm pickup. You can do tours and charge for that as well. So we have a lot of videos on that. Linda says, used up all my vacation time for this year already, but as soon as the date comes out for next year, I plan to attend 2024. There you go. Well, it is a holiday weekend. So hopefully you're off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's Saturday, Sunday. Use a sick day on Monday. Or just come for one day, whatever you want to do. I'm just saying. We'd love to have you. Quail Corner Homestead's in the house from New Jersey. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Oh dear God, I lost everything. It went haywire. Hold please. Why? It did it again. I'm gonna go super fast. I lost everything. Failure to thrive. Okay, we answered that. All right, I'm back. See, didn't take long. Pappy's Homestead says, smash the like button, folks. Absolutely support the channel. We only need 20 more likes to hit the 100 mark. That'd be awesome. I'd really appreciate it if you could do that for me. Tracy Boston's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Dwight Wilson's in the house. Welcome. Child of God says hello. Been subscribed to this channel for some time now. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. If you're joining us a little bit late rather than the beginning, we did do about 20 minutes of announcements. I highly recommend everybody checking that out. I won't bore you again in case you were already here, but we talked a lot about some really interesting, cool stuff coming on and going on in the quail community we'd love for you to be a part of. But the big thing that I want to mention real quick is Slightly Redneck is another YouTube channel. He's a great friend of mine, amazing person, and an amazing YouTube channel called Slightly Redneck from Chris Carnes. And he's got 98.8 thousand subscribers. So if you can, subscribe to his channel. Let's support the community and the people trying to teach us and help us on our adventure with Coturnix quail. And let's get him to 100,000 subscribers. That would be really cool. I'd be 50% behind him, but it's not a race, and I'd be very proud of him. I'd be very happy for him. Dwight Wilson's in the house. Dwight and Sandy here from, where'd you go? Peppermint Acres in West Virginia. Welcome, we're glad you're here. I don't think we have West Virginia representing QuailCon yet. We'd love for you to come. QuailCon is just in a couple weeks. Make sure you check that out on our website, and we'd love for you to be here September 2nd and 3rd. Tickets are still available on the website. Mary Bell is in the house. Hello, just ordered some eggs. Awesome. I will get them out to you as quickly as possible, and I wish you all the best. Obviously, keep me posted. Bob Cole says, day 16, one hatched, one pipping. Very cool. Good luck. Creature of Legend says, hi, I just found a hen with some blood tin clear liquid around both ears. I thought they fought, but what are the chances that both ears got pecked? Pretty good. If they start pecking and they see blood, they're going to go at it. So, yeah, I mean, and, well, not always. Not always, but I would say that's reasonable to say that somebody got mad in the cage and pecked him. So that's what I would assume. I don't think it would be anything else. That's a great question. I did just get a text from Wyatt and said, it's probably a weird question. Can you do AI with Coturnix quail, which is artificial insemination? I have no idea why you would want to. It's 5 hens to every 1 male. It would not take very long for them to breed. And if there's a male and a hen in a cage, they'll breed. So I don't know why you would want to. But you could. You could. Souls in a Bottle says, my quail are just about 7 weeks old, and I have at least 2 laying. That is awesome. Congratulations. Good luck. Make sure that it's 3 quail per square foot. 5 hens to every 1 male, and they're getting 16 to 18 hours of light a day. And the rest of them should start laying this week for you, so good luck. Souls and Boss says, moving my jumbos to a 5x2.5 rollout soon. Awesome, good luck. Child of God says, just 120 eggs from your auction, hoping I do a bit better with them than last hatching. Last time I dropped the incubator while moving it, had to, still got a 60% hatch rate. That's still really good. Congratulations. I will get your eggs out as quickly as possible. Congratulations on the great deal on the auction this weekend. And yeah, I'll get them out and obviously keep me posted. But yeah, if you don't have the same incubator issues, you're probably going to get really good. I'm excited to see what your numbers are. Yes, John F. Quail egg scissors are a game changer if you're eating quail eggs. For sure. Like, they are a necessity. Jose Sanless, I hope I said that correctly. If I didn't, apologize. Feel free to correct me. One of my quail broke its leg and is not healed. Should I just call it? It's 4 weeks old. Yes. Yep. They really don't recover from that. They might not die, but they will struggle. They won't be productive for you. So if it's a male, it won't breed. If it's a hen, it won't lay eggs. It'll probably move around enough to eat and drink, but not be productive for you. I would put it out of its misery. I think that would be the best. Sorry to give you the bad news, but that's what I would recommend. Jose says, second, can I mix jumbo with regular quail? I have 19 regular, mostly pearl, looking to add more as I hatched many males. You can. You just have to know. So they do get along just fine. Not a big deal at all. You do need to know that if it's really important to you for the jumbo size, if you put jumbos and standards together, it is very, very, very easy, unless you are a very organized breeder, to lose that weight. So if you put standards and jumbos together, it's much easier to lose that jumbo weight and make everything standard than it is to gain weight on the standards. Now, there is a way to do it, but it's got to be a very precise, specific breeding program. But if you're wanting egg laying, if you're wanting good sized meat, put them together, they'll get along just fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Souls and Bottles says they aren't all laying yet, so it's fine. We are moving to a new house, so I expected them to stop anyways. Yeah, absolutely. Good thought. Maria's in the house from Utah. We do have Utah coming. We'd love for you to come as well, Maria, to QuailCon, so hopefully we'll see you here. And welcome. We're glad you're here. Nabiki says alumni are graduates, sometimes used for former students as well. Right, absolutely. I like the student. I like the student feedback. I like that. Emma Ball says, hi, Zach. I have 4 weeks with Rhineck that was present at hatch. What should I do? Is it treatable? Can the bird survive like this? Is it in pain? No, it is not in pain, or at least they've never shown in pain. They act completely normal. They eat completely fine. And they'll usually produce for you. They'll usually, I mean, if it's a male, it'll still breed. If it's a hen, they'll still lay pretty good eggs for you. It's not something that you really want to keep. If you're just starting out and you need them, it's not the end of the world. I don't know a specific number. I'm going to say 90 to 95%, but I actually haven't done the complete research on that. But I would say about 90 to 95% of that is an incubator issue and not genetic. We still wouldn't recommend using them. But if you're just starting out and you need some more eggs, I would hatch some more out and then get rid of it. But it's a crooked neck, and usually, most of the time, the majority of the time, it's because it hatches late and it developed so much in the egg that it kind of had to turn sideways because it was too big, and the neck bone developed that way. So they're not in pain. They'll produce for you. It's not recommended that you keep them. And then you'll have to decide what you want to do and what's best for you. For Zoo Florida's announced, I have a day old with crooked neck. Could that change? No, they do not change. If it's Rhineck, then it's Rhineck. And yeah, Nabiki says pretty much the same thing I just said. You're not like, I mean, she commented before I said it. You're not likely to be able to do anything about it, but it can have a normal life with it. The few that I have, I've raised to adults, then butchered. There you go. And that's not a bad idea either. I mean, they're healthy and they're fine. So if you want to raise it out to butcher and get the meat out of it, I think that's completely acceptable. But they seem to be the happiest, to be honest with you. The more they seem to be the most just crazy, like the more excitable. Souls and Bottles says, got my SSC eggs on Friday, hoping to get another great hatch this time around. Love to hear it. Good luck. Obviously, keep me posted, and I wish you all the best. Ryan says, do you ship to Canada? No, we do not. What's the best quail for commercial meat and commercial eggs? That's a great question, and I've got many different answers for that. So it really depends on what you're doing. So if you're doing meat, the biggest is jumbo wilds. By far, they are the largest. But jumbo whites are the largest eggs, and they butcher the cleanest, right? I'm not done yet. Jumbo white wings are the second largest and the second largest egg, right? So like the largest meat is jumbo wilds, jumbo white wings, jumbo whites. In the egg category, it's jumbo whites, jumbo white wings, and jumbo wilds. So if you're wanting to go a great mix of both, it would be the jumbo white wings. But if you want the largest meat, it's jumbo wilds by far. Now, if you're looking for production, you're going to get a lot more eggs per year from scarlets, Tibetans, Rosettas, and tuxedos than you will from jumbos. So if you're looking for egg production commercially, you want the standard size. If you're looking for meat, you're looking for the jumbos. So it's good to have both, to be honest with you. Hopefully that explained that. Jose's not talking to me. Creature of Legends in the house. I had 22 out of the 26 hatch with your stuff before it got destroyed in shipping. 22 out of, you would have purchased 25. That's awesome. Congratulations. You did great, especially since post office did bad for you and lost 4 of them. That's awesome. Congratulations. Creature of Legend, if you can let me know what kind you ordered, I'd greatly appreciate it. Quail Corner Homestead is in the house. Says, what incubator did Racer use? Oh, I did not ask. Hopefully he's still on and he'll be able to answer. So Racer Tim, if you're still on, if you could let us know what kind of incubator you used. Racer Tim won a bunch of auctions from us, just hatched out, gave us his hatch rates. He got 51 out of 60, 89 out of 120, 23 out of 30, 28 out of 30, 52 out of 60, 96 out of 120, 8 out of 15, and that was it for him. That was a lot of eggs. And then 22 out of 25 someone else just got. So you guys are doing great on the hatch rates. I'm really proud of everybody. You guys are doing absolutely awesome. Jesse Mill says, Loretta wants me to tell you she is so excited for QuailCon 2. Absolutely. You'll be here for 3 years in a row. Loretta will be here 3 years in a row. I can't wait to see her again. And she can hang out with the kids. And yeah, it's going to be a great time for QuailCon. Petamall Farms in the house from Tennessee. Sorry I'm late. Internet was down. Like number 74. Thank you very much. We're at 91. We need 9 more to hit 100. If you can do so, that'd be awesome. To support the channel, and thanks for being here. And as Chris from Slightly Redneck YouTube channel says, we don't take attendance, we're just happy you're here. Granny 4751's in the house. I ordered eggs and got the Quail 101 course. It was excellent. Would recommend the course to anyone. I hope to be able to do the whole course soon. Thank you. That is awesome. Good luck, and I'm so happy you liked the course. And good luck with the eggs. Obviously, keep me posted on the hatch rate. And if you've taken Quail 101, I don't know if you know this, but you can also become an affiliate. So you can get a link, and anytime you spread that link to someone else and they purchase the course, you off the top get $10 from that. So it's a great way to make some substantial, or some side money, substantial possibly, depending on how active you are. So if you're selling some quail eggs or some meat or doing some quail sales on the side, or you're just very active and you know a lot of people, or you're active on social media or whatever, you could make a good amount. I mean, if you sell, 100 people the course, you're gonna get $1,000, which is pretty cool. Hope I did that math right in my head. So you might want to check that out as well. Danielle's in the house. My auction eggs started hatching yesterday. I'm just waiting for the others to come out. I swear it is as exciting as the first time every time. It really is. Well, good luck. Obviously, keep me posted on the hatch. I wish you all the best. And I'm sure you got a great deal, so congratulations on that as well. And no, it does not get old. Vase Place says, nope, it never gets old. There you go. Souls in the Bottle says, after I move, I hope to participate in the auctions. Absolutely. We'll be here for you. Mary Bell says, opinion on dry hatching. I think dry hatching is completely fine. It doesn't affect the eggs at all. I think it's a really good thing, especially for the hotter months, more humid months. It also depends on where you're at. So like Florida, Texas, I don't know, Colorado, they're all very humid areas. They're all high altitude, not all, Colorado's high altitude, whatever. Dry hatching all year long is probably really good in those 3 states. Dry hatching in Ohio is great for the summer months, the hot months. Not dry hatching during the colder months is ideal. So it really depends on where you are and what season it is. But we dry hatch right now. We get great results. And then around end of October, beginning of November, we'll go back to doing non-dry hatch. Souls and Bottles says, I do a dry hatch because Maine's ambient humidity has been high this year. Got an 80% hatch rates on each hatch. There you go. That's awesome. And yeah, again, I think it really depends on where you're at and what's going on in the area. So obviously Maine gets really cold during the winter. And so, doing dry hatches in the winter, probably not a great idea. But yeah, if the relative humidity is really that high, then yeah, dry hatch would be the way to go. Danielle says, my husband makes me set up some chairs around the incubator and we drink tea and watch quail TV. He wasn't interested in them at all before that first hatch. There you go. That's usually how it works. Usually one or the other of the spouses will get them and the other will be like, oh, this is, and then all of a sudden it's like their baby. You know what I mean? So that's really cool. That's cool. It's a great time to spend as a family, whether it's, husband, wife, or family of kids, or, grandparents and grandkids, or nieces and nephews. Like, everybody gets invited or excited about it. It's really cool. Nadium 1389, I hope I said that correctly. I have a quail who is just over 3 weeks and is seemingly blind. I separated him from the flock and his poops are dark and watery, but he's eating, drinking as normal. Any ideas? I mean, I would need more information. Um, if you think he's blind, I would call it. Or you can wait to butcher it, but I would not breed it. You do not want that gene into your breeding program. I wouldn't even take the chance of it. So if it was me, I'd call it now. Use it as dog food or reptile food or falconry food is what I would do. Everything's got to eat. If you're not comfortable with that, I would raise it to butcher so that you can eat it yourself. Wouldn't be harmful to you. It'd be fine. But I would not put it in the breeding program. Sorry, I know you probably didn't want to hear that, but you just don't. Razor Tim says, I have a 1502 GQF incubator. That would make sense on the great hatches. And you know what you're doing. And I use it in a 1202 as my hatcher. They have always worked great for me, and I should be getting over 300 more eggs from you tomorrow. Very cool. There you go. Well, I'm very excited to see what your next hatch rates are. Chiefs number one fan is in the house from Southern. I'm assuming you meant Indiana. It says India, but I would assume Indiana. But maybe not. Oh, yeah, you said Indiana. There you go. See? Not sure why the autumn ambers was low, but it wasn't many of those eggs I ordered. There you go. Yeah, I noticed that too. Everything else was super high. I think the AAs, the autumn ambers, were on top of the box. That could have affected that. I don't know. Yeah, I thought about that as well. Farm Life's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. He says, I'm 50 minutes late. That's all right. We're just happy you're here. So welcome. We're glad you're here. Joe Sumter's in the house. Are your quail barns climate controlled? They are not. We do have a furnace in the brooder room for winter. We did use it this year during winter, not now. Last year we did not use it. The heat lamps did plenty to control that. We did use it this year, but the main barn is not insulated and it's not climate controlled. There's no heat in there. We do have fans for circulation, but once they're fully feathered at 3 weeks old, weather doesn't, or the cold or the heat doesn't bother them. So hopefully that answers all your question about that. Souls and Bottle says, wish I could go to QuailCon this year. School starts here at the same week, so maybe next year. Just be a week late to school. It's not a big deal. Bring the family. This is kind of like school. We're teaching and learning and making friends. It's going to be fine. I'll write you a note. Not a big deal. Just call me the quail doctor. I'll write you a little note. Forzu Florida says, which one of those incubators is easy to clean? The Nurturite 360 has tiny spots that are hard to clean. Honestly, the Brinsea was the easiest to clean. The Nurturite 360 was the second easiest. And then the Little Giant and the Farm Innovator are both styrofoam, which are a pain in the behind to clean. Do not like that at all. So actually, the plastic ones are much easier to clean than the styrofoam, in my opinion. Souls and Bottles says, I have Barado and that can do 69 quail eggs at a time and it's pretty easy to clean. There you go. I've not done a video on that. I don't know much about them, to be honest. Shelly Barr says, you said put wet paper towels around the incubator at lockdown. Did you mean on the inside? I said to put wet paper towels around the incubator. I don't think I said that. Or if I did say that, I did not mean to say that. I mean, if you're wanting to increase your humidity at lockdown, I would recommend putting a little Tupperware bowl in the incubator and put water in that and a sponge. Or you could do like a wet washcloth. That will last a lot longer than the paper towel. But if you're having temperature control issues or even humidity control issues, you'll want to wrap the incubator, the outside of the incubator, with a blanket or a towel, and that will help insulate that to keep it more stable. Maybe I misspoke. That's what I would mean though. Vermont Quail's in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Solo FX says, are there any disadvantages in feeding quail a mostly insect diet, such as mealworms and black soldier fly larvae? You can. People do it. There's many different ways to raise quail. That's how I'll answer that. There's many different ways to raise quail. I'm against it personally. I think they need a stable and good diet. You know, what's the word I want to use? Balanced is the word I want to use. I think that it's very important for if you're raising for self-sufficiency or quail for whatever you're raising, you want to have a very balanced diet. So in my opinion, I think it's very important to have a good feed. Now supplementing that, I don't think that's a bad idea. But many different ways to raise quail, and a lot of people do that. So, I think that's a personal choice. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. My opinion, I would rather have a good feed and then not have to worry about it and know that it's a balanced diet. But I know there's a lot of people that want to make their own feed and supplement everything. I don't think that's wrong. It's not for me. So I just think you have to decide what's for you. And that's okay. We can all raise quail a little bit differently. That's one of the great things about quail. Vermont Quail's in the house. Says hello, welcome. We're glad you're here. Caitlin says, I have eggs in the incubator going to hatch in the next week. This will be my second round of hatching. Very cool. Congratulations. I wish you all the best. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Fran Crow is in the house, says, evening everyone, welcome, glad you're here. Fran and her husband will be here at QuailCon. I'm very excited to hang out with them as well. We've hung out with them for quite a bit, actually. So I can't wait to hang out with them a little bit more. Duck's Custom Garage is in the house, says, howdy everyone, welcome, we're glad you're here. Rebecca is in the house. I have many requests for delivery orders and I show up to the location they don't show. How do you minimize this? If that's the case and they don't show, I would do a deposit. I've not had that issue. I mean, I've had a couple people that have backed out or canceled their order or whatever, but the majority don't, so I don't worry about it. But if you have like a majority of them that's canceling, I would make them put down a deposit or pay in advance. I don't think that's a bad idea either. If you're building your client base, if you're building your customer base, I would probably just do it, a 10% deposit or 50% deposit, whatever it is. But if you have a client base already, I'd make them pay in advance. No. You know what I would do? This is what I would do. I'm not saying I recommend this. This is what I would do. I feel, my opinion, I feel like it's, as a business owner, you have to take you have to give them the trust so that they can trust you, right? So I've never taken, like on our corporate accounts, or new balut orders or customer pickups or whatever, I've never taken the money in advance. It's when they pick it up. Now, when we're shipping, we take the money in advance because, well, we have to pay for the shipping and the supplies and this, that, and the other, and that's just how it works, right? But local pickups, we don't. Now, I would keep track of things. So, for example, let's say we have 5 customers. Let's say I don't take a deposit for any of them. 3 of them show up when they're supposed to, pay the full amount. They're great customers. Great. Leave that alone. 1 of them does a no-show, right? Or 2 of them do a no-show, right? Okay. With those 2 going forward, I would have their names down. When they order again, I'd say we have to take a 50% non-refundable deposit. And then if they don't show up, then if they happen to order one more time, I would give them one more chance and say you have to pay in advance. And if you don't show up, it's non-refundable, is what I would do. And if they don't show up the 3rd time, it's on them. It's not hurting me. That's just what I would do. That's kind of the mindset that you can think about and just decide what works best for you. I was just talking out loud, so hopefully some of that made sense to you. Davis Family Fives is in the house from Alabama. I do not have Alabama coming to QuailCon. I do not know why. Everything else around it's coming. Alabama's not showing up. So Davis Family 5. We'd love for you to come to QuailCon. It's September 2nd and 3rd. Check it out on our website. It's a 2-day event. We'd love for you to be here and have Alabama representing. Feathers, Furs, and Food Farmstead. I don't know why that was so hard for me to see. But welcome, I'm glad you're here. Made it from the very end from North Texas. Well, welcome, we're glad you're here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Rebecca says, hatched my first eggs from Myshire adults. Very cool, congratulations. That's very exciting. Farm Life says, I had 48 quail chicks in the incubator and 34 hatched. I put more in the incubator. They should hatch on the 25th. Very cool, congratulations. Great hatch rate, congratulations, that's very cool. Creature of Legend is in the house. Welcome, we're glad you're here. Ultra Thub is in the house. Hey, dude, I got a good 10-ish hens out of the 19 that hatched from 29 that you sent. I'm getting a half dozen right now. One more week till we get to eat the eggs, hoping to make it to QuailCon. It's been a while, but wanted to update. Well, thank you very much. I will write that down. It was 19 out of 29, which you would have ordered 25. That's not bad at all. Congratulations. You got a good amount of hens, so that's pretty good. We'd love for you to come to QuailCon. Some tickets are still available. I have a feeling this week's going to be a big week. It's usually about 3 weeks before QuailCon. We have a huge influx of tickets sold, so that's very exciting. Hopefully you can make it. And if you're still on Ultra, if you can let me know what kind you ordered, I'd greatly appreciate it. But thank you very much for letting me know. And great hatch rate. Time and Timber Homesteads in the house says, I'm so late. Hi, everyone. It's all right. We don't take attendance. S.O. Swanson made it. So, I mean, that's all that matters, I guess. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Zoo Florida says, when we up the humidity at lockdown, are we mimicking a natural process, or is it just because we are incubating? And is there too high? My last hatch in Florida, the humidity briefly went over 80. That's a great question. A lot of great questions in that question. There's a lot of conflicting information about that. So I'm just going to answer what I know for sure. And then the rest, I just don't. I don't have a very good answer, and I don't have a precise answer, and I don't want to answer it not knowing fully. So, with that being said, there is a humidity that can be too high. 80's not that. I mean, you want to be at 75 is what you want to be at. You want to be at 75%. If it hits 80, it's not the end of the world. It usually doesn't affect anything at all. If you hit 85, it's starting to stress out a little bit. 90 would be, oh dear God, there's damage, right? Is kind of how I would describe it. So 75 is what you want to be at. Obviously, when they start hatching out, the humidity is going to bump. So if it bumps to 80, 85, it's going to come back down in just a little bit. It's not the end of the world. Don't worry about it. If it starts hitting 90, you've got to get some fresh air in there and get that humidity down. Amy B says, I have a blind wryneck hen that laid eggs for the full 2 years she lived. I had to call due to seizures. There you go. Wryneck, I mean, they'll be productive for you. Splay leg, not so much, just because it's harder for them to get around. Vermont Quail says, which flush and fly better, jumbos or standards by far? Tibetans, Rosettas, and Scarlets is what all of our dog trainers want. They kind of blend in. They're more of a natural look. They really like the standard wilds as well. And the standard Egyptian. So something that can blend in, but definitely standards, 100%. You do not want jumbos if you're selling to dog trainers. Great question. Farm Life says, no, the internet isn't working well. I might have to go. Huge thunderstorm. Well, good luck. Stay safe, and hopefully you can stay on. Our Mojo 23 says, we are back from the ashes, been gone for a while due to the house fire. We are rebuilding and have been very busy. Our quail all survived, but This year's expansion is on hold until the house is done. Absolutely. I'm glad you're getting back on track. I wish you all the best. And welcome. We're glad you're here. Jesse Mills is not talking to me. Armojo says, we are all fine. Lost some house pets, but all our outside animals are fine. That's good to hear, kind of. Ultra says, to clarify, if he asks, I got some jumbo Egyptians. I did ask that. Thank you very much. Great hatch. Great hatch rate, Ultra. Emma Ball says, could I dry hatch in the UK? I do not know the weather well enough to tell you. I would assume you can. I would assume you can, because I would assume you have high humidity. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't dry hatch in the cold months, which seems to be like 9 months a year for you guys. But I don't know the weather well enough. But yeah, if you have a high relative humidity in your area, then absolutely dry hatching would be the way to go. Celine235 says it's very humid here in New Jersey, and I tried dry hatching for the first time, and it was very successful. That's awesome. Congratulations. S.O. Swanson looked it up, says current humidity in the United Kingdom is 74%. You can dry hatch. Yep, absolutely. There you go. Amy B says, I'm bringing tomatoes to QuailCon. Anyone is welcome. I am overrun. There you go. We are too, unfortunately. Vay's Place says, I never refuse tomatoes. There you go. Time and Timber says, all y'all winning auction eggs have me jealous right now. I just have to be patient to start back up incubating until after QuailCon 23. You know you're taking some eggs at QuailCon home. So we all know that. Jesse Mill says, I'll need one of those notes for Loretta Zach. She'll be skipping a couple days to be there. There you go. Yeah, I don't know how far it'll get, but I'll write it. Amy B says, Brency and Maxi 2 advanced advisory. If you take the fan out to clean it, make sure you put it back in the same orientation. I put mine in upside down. It nearly ruined my hatch. Yeah, that is a good tip. Thank you very much for letting us know. Linda said, tips on cleaning styrofoam incubator like Little Giant. I have trouble with that too. I don't really use them very often. We used them like 12 years ago when we started, and I've done a couple test hatches on reviews that I've done on YouTube. So I'm not a full expert on the styrofoam, but what I've done, and again, I don't know if somebody has better, but what I've done is I literally like, we've got a 3-bay sink and we've got the hose, I literally just spray it out. Then I take a bottle, I put half Listerine in it, and then I put Listerine in it. And then I just spray the living daylights out of it, let it sit, spray it out again, and then wipe it out with a towel. This is what I do, but somebody on here might have a better way to do it. Time in Denver says balanced diet. That is what I was looking for, yes. Ashley Romero's in the house. When they start hatching, don't they drown themselves in the Tupperware? I've never had that happen, no. I mean, you don't want it like that thin, but they're tiny. So, I mean, if it's 2 inches high, they're not getting in there. But no, I've never had that happen. I guess, it's a possibility. But if you put the sponge in there, by the time they start moving around, that water's going to be all in that sponge. Time and Timber says you have to put a sponge in the Tupperware container if you place it inside the incubator. No drown. Oh, yeah. See, there you go. Mojo says, is your website down? Not that I'm aware of. We've had 2 sales since I've been on here. Refresh the page if it says error. I'll take a look at it. We do have somebody working on it, so he might have been updating something. Yeah, I'll take a look. If it is down, he's updating something, so it'll be up in like, I don't know how long it'll take, hour and a half. If that long. Amy, color is therapy. Love the name. Says, my incubator is full of my quail eggs from the first time. Pipping right now. Very exciting. Congratulations. I wish you all the best, and good luck. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Johnny Newby's in the house. 15th lockdown on second time incubating. Hope I'm blessed. There you go. I wish you all the best. And Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I wish you all the best. S.O. Swanson says the website is working for me. Refresh your page. May take a time or two. There you go. So yeah, he probably was just updating something. Teresa Couch says, hi, Zach. Wondering, the temps were in the 90s for the 3-day of shipping of the eggs. The eggs started hatching on day 15. I was afraid of the air conditioning in the house. The temp change. Did I miss something else? The temps were in the 90s for the 3 days of shipping of the eggs. The eggs started hatching on day 15. I was afraid of the air conditioning in the house. The temp change. So the temps during shipping would not affect them hatching on day 15. So usually that means on day 15 your incubator was running just a little bit high, probably 100, 100.5. So if you just drop that down about a half a degree, they'll start hatching on day 16. I think that's what you were saying. But yeah, that wouldn't affect the hatch. Jimmy Johnson's in the house. Kentucky is here. Welcome. We're glad you're here. We do have Kentucky representing at QuailCon, so I'm very excited about that. Jimmy, hopefully you'll be able to make it. It's just a couple weeks away. We'd love for you to be here on the 2-day event. Nishra Rama's in the house from Phoenix, Arizona. We don't have Arizona representing at QuailCon, so Nishra Rama, you're gonna have to come. Like I don't know what else to tell you. Like, we need you. We'd love for you to come if you can make it. Linda says, what about the electronic components? What about the electronic components? What about the electronic components? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, cleaning the incubator. I bet that's what you're asking about, cleaning the incubator. I just take some of that tape that like the blue tape. They like tape off the walls for trimming when you paint. I just take some of that and just tape around it and just cover it all up, then just take the tape off is what I do. But again, there might be a much better way to do things. I don't know. George takes it all apart. He like takes the components out, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna tape it, and neither one of us has ever broken one. So let's see. Nishirama says 60 eggs incubating, jumbo white. Good luck. I wish you all the best. If they're from me, make sure you keep me posted on the hatch, and I wish you all the best. Nishirama says, I did not have a single egg broken. S.O. Swanson says, must have been Myshire eggs. Ha ha ha. Nishirama says, S.O. Swanson for sure. There you go. Well, then keep me posted on the hatch. I wish you all the best. Vermont Quail's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Steve Barry says, my quail are taking 110-degree weather today. Redding, California, and crazy. Absolutely. They actually do very well in weather. I did a video not too long ago about what's too hot for quail, or is quail, you know, what temp is too hot. I don't remember what I named it. Something of that nature. It's like 7 videos ago. You won't be able to miss it. But they really do well as long as they can get out of the elements. Like if there's no shade and the sun's just beating on them, no, they're not going to do well. Or if it's really cold and the wind's blowing and the snow and they can't get out of the elements, no, they're not going to do well. So the elements can affect them, but the weather does not. The temp of the weather does not. Mojo23 says website's back up. Awesome. Thank you. Jimmy Johnson says 33 eggs in the incubator, first started with 64 hatch. 64 hatch beginner. Wait, 33 eggs in the incubator. First started with 64 hatch. I think you started with 64 and you have 33 left. I hope I understood that correctly. You are a beginner. I get it. I got that part. I wish you all the best. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. and we'd be happy to help. I'd also make sure that you check out Quail University. It's a course that you can take, quailuniversity.com, or you can go to our website, myshirefarm.com, and go to the tab that says Quail University. It's a course that you can take, and so far we're getting higher hatch rates on people that take the course because there's so much great information in there to help you on your adventure with quail. So you can do that as well. I do have a lot of free videos on the YouTube channel to help you as well. And you're more than welcome to ask any questions and we'll help you out. Beam Farm says, I'm just going to say I'm happy to have jumbo white wings and whites added to my flock because currently I can't sell jumbo wilds ever, seems like. Interesting. Interesting. I've not heard that. If that's the case, the jumbo white wings are going to sell really well for you. And probably the jumbo whites. Something different, and people are going to think of jumbo whites as like, you know, they're a cleaner bird to butcher. A lot of people think of them as Texas A&M. The jumbo white wings are different. Not a lot of people have seen them before. They're both really big. Yeah, I think this will help you a lot. Absolutely. And I wish you all the best. And you got a great deal on them on the auction. Farm Life says, have to go. Have a good night, everyone. Absolutely. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Juanita Fields is in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Hopefully you can make it back to QuailCon. It was great meeting you last year. Naomi Fetting is in the house from Florida. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Mojo23 says, are there camping spots going to come open? Actually, we went through that today, and I'm actually going to put 10 more camping spots available as soon as I get off here. So there will be 10 more available. Buster says, made it to 100 likes. Oh, awesome. Made it to 107. Very cool. Thank you, everybody, for the support. I really appreciate it. Naomi says, just put my eggs in lockdown. Awesome. Good luck. I wish you all the best. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If they're from me, make sure you keep me posted on the hatch. Juanita Field says, debating whether QuailCon is in my budget this year. We'd love for you to be here, and hopefully you can make it. And we've got a lot of new stuff this year. So if you came last year, believe you me, I think that there's only 3 speakers that spoke last year that's speaking this year, and one of them's a different topic. The other 2 are the same, but then we have, all kinds of new speakers. Like, just for example, Katrina did not speak last year. Linda did not speak last year. Melanie and Ricky did not do the class last year. Keith did not do it last year. Dale, I think he did a talk, but he's doing a workshop this year. Jasmine's back with the butcher class with a lot of extra help this year. We'll have Elaine from Ohio State University, first time here. Jasmine will be speaking the first time. So we've got a lot of new stuff as well. I'm telling you, this year is going to be off the hook. Like, I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Beam Farm says they want color, seems like. There you go. Well, it's good that you're getting to familiarize with the market. You know what I mean? Because every market's a little bit different. So it's good that you're realizing that. Like, that's the key, is you figuring that out. Farm Life says, I'm back. Welcome back. The Birdhouse says, can you selectively breed EB to get feather sexable Rosetta and Fed? No. You cannot get EB feather sexable. It just won't work. That makes a perfect sense. Jimmy Johnson says, started with 6 eggs, 4 hatched. Now he's hatching 33. Well, that's awesome. You're doing great. Congratulations. I'm sorry I did not get that from the first place. I don't know what I was thinking, but that makes perfect sense. So awesome. Well, you're stepping it up. You're doing great. Congratulations. Maria says, awesome. I don't know what's awesome, but I'm glad that you're excited. Naomi says, is the camping spot tent only? No, it can be car, RV, tent, hammock. The first year we had like 2 or 3 people, we have trees. They just put hammocks up and it was great. Last year was bad weather, so no hammocks last year. But yeah, Nikki and Brad James camp out all the time. They're campers. They're a huge help at QuailCon. They're great volunteers. They're like my right hand at QuailCon. They do fantastic, and I love them with all of my heart. But they camp out all weekend in a tent. They've done it every year, and yeah, anything goes. Last year we had a lot of people just sleep in their van. and just chill out. So whatever you want to do. Farm Life says, are quail fine getting wet? That is a great question, and it's very confusing because quail can get wet, not the end of the world, unless the temperature drops or it's going in the night. So like if it's like middle of the day and they somehow get wet, not the end of the world. But if it's like, like it's 85 degrees today, it's going to drop to 62 degrees tonight in Ohio, right? If they're wet going into the 62 degrees, that's not ideal. You know what I mean? You don't want to get your quail wet. If you miss them, you literally just want to miss them. So the ideal is not to get them wet. But if they're like in the rain and they just refuse to get out of it and it's their call, they'll do fine. They'll know what's best for them. Hopefully that answers that. Time and Timber says, no, the birdhouse EB doesn't have the genetic makeup for sexual feather patterning. Yep. See? Told you. Johnny Newby says, do you have videos of QuailCon? I do. If you type in to the YouTube search bar QuailCon 2023, that'll show up. I did a couple shorts this week that show what we're doing to get ready for QuailCon. I did one about buying a GQF incubator and a Brincia that we're going to be raffling off. We're going to have a free giveaway, so anyone that bought tickets that show up, we're going to give them a free ticket. And they'll be able to use that for raffles. And then we're also going to be doing a free giveaway as well. And then, we put up tents, and I did a short on that. And so, yeah, we're going to continue to do videos on it. I am going to do a detailed QuailCon video. I'm hoping to get to Wednesday. I'd like to get through our Zoom call with all the volunteers, workshops, masterclass speakers, all that stuff on Tuesday. And then once everybody's on the same page, I'm going to do a YouTube video that anybody that's coming or interested will know exactly what's going on and the times and all that stuff. Time and Timber says, besides winter, my quail think they are rain birds. LOL. There you go. Maria's Awesome was for more camping spots. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll be putting them on as soon as we're done tonight. Mojo23 says, hope we can make it, but school is starting the 30th. I'm not sure on the delivery of the new house, but still want to come. Hope it all works out. Well, school should be out that Monday, so it'll work out. And like I said, I'll just write a note. We'll call me the quail doctor. I'll write a note saying that you were at an event that you were forced to be at, not your fault, and they need to back off. And probably won't help, but I'll do it. Jimmy Johnson says, I only have 5 quail in a cage, 4 females, two of my females have scarring on back of heads. Is that okay? You have 4 to 1. Yeah, they're going to get beat up a little bit if you have a 4 to 1. Not a ton, but the back of their heads will go bald. They will get scraped up a little. You put an extra hen in there that will prevent that. The ones that have already been beaten up a little bit, there's going to be scarring, but they'll recover completely. And a 4 to 1, I mean, that's pretty much about as much beat up as they're going to get. So it's not the end of the world. Bill Thompson says, I have 21 hens, went from getting 19 or 20 eggs a day to getting 15 to 16. Is it already time to add more light? They need about 16 to 18 hours of light a day. It also depends on what age they are. If they are about a year and a half old, then they are going to start dying off, or they could just start molting. So it depends on what age they are. I mean, there could be a lot of factors, but something that you can control is the lighting. So I would make sure they're getting 16 to 18 hours of light a day. It's 8:47. It shouldn't be the lighting, but it could be. Time and Timber says, LOL, Dr. Quail. There you go. I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to be a blessing. Farm Life says, should I take out the hens that get really beat up? Yep, absolutely. Let them heal a couple days in a cage and then put them back in. They'll be fine. But you do need to find the cause of why they're getting beat up. Is it 3 quail per square foot? Do they always have food and water? Is the feeder big enough for many of them to eat at the same time? Is the water system enough for a lot of them to drink at one time? Because they get real pooty when they want to eat, and they'll beat the crap out of one to get to the feed or the water. Is it 5 hens to every 1 male? Do they have too much light? I mean, you have to figure out why they're getting beat up, so you fix that issue. Yusuf's back. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Time and temperature bill. Molting and high temperatures could be a factor for less eggs. Yep, absolutely. Mojo says, need the doctor note for the wife so she doesn't have the kids at home alone. There you go. I'm just saying I'll do what I have to do. Like, I'm here for you guys. That's all I'm saying. Will it work? Probably not. But I will try for you. That's all I'm saying. Says September daylight average about 13 hours per day, so it's time to supplement. Yeah, it's getting to be that time for sure. Okay. That was kind of long tonight, but great. I mean, it was great conversation, great feedback, great questions, great comments, a lot of fun. Everybody was enthusiastic and excited. I did want to mention, so if you joined late, not a big deal because we've been on for almost 2 hours, but if you did join late, the first 20 minutes was all the updates. We've got some big updates for Quail University and some really big updates for QuailCon. So if you want to know about those, watch the first 15 to 20 minutes of this. But one big thing I mentioned at the beginning that I really want everyone to know is Slightly Redneck is a great friend of mine. He's a great friend of Myshire Farm and a huge contributor to the quail community. I noticed today that he's at 98.8 thousand subscribers. If you can, support one another, support the quail community. He does a lot for the quail community. He's given out many hundreds and hundreds of videos to help people on their adventure with Coturnix quail. Subscribe to his channel and let's try to help him get to the 100,000 subscriber mark. That is a huge accomplishment. I'd love to see that happen the next couple of weeks. I'd love to mention at QuailCon that we did it. We helped him get there, and congratulate him on that. So make sure you check out Slightly Redneck on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and he's got great videos as well, so you're going to get a lot out of it, and I would greatly appreciate that as well. So that is all that I'll talk about as far as the announcements. If you want to know about the rest, make sure you watch the first 20 minutes of the video. I appreciate everybody showing up. I will be doing a couple shorts or videos this week about QuailCon, what we're doing to get ready for QuailCon. We're starting to butcher on Tuesday for all the meat for QuailCon, so we'll probably do a video on that, cutting the field and doing this and doing that. So we'll make it a lot of fun letting you guys know what we're up to. I will do a full video this week about everything going on for QuailCon, let you know how many tickets are left, so you guys can keep up to that. And I appreciate everybody showing up. Make sure you check out Quail University as well. It's something you really shouldn't live without if you're going to be raising quail. Both of those information are on our website at myshirefarm.com. I appreciate everybody showing up. Thanks for the great time. Thanks for being part of the community. And until next time, everybody, as always, stay safe.